this will work. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? I don't know what happened. Maybe some people didn't agree with what I was saying, and then the whole thing just crashed on me. I'm so sorry. Like it is just crazy. Let me see if I can actually go on. With this, let me see. Hopefully things are better now. The whole thing just went off. Yeah, home run, right? Yeah, like Amechi is only out there. Let me see if I can. Okay, Amechi is only out there to be the minister of the FCT if Obi becomes president. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know what Amechi's end game is. You know, I don't even know. I don't know what Amechi is trying to do. I saw him in, I don't even know, one gathering where he was dressed like an imam because he wants to actually get the North vote. I don't know. But again, I mean, you tell me. Let's see.
However, after reading that book, I decided I'm going to take a tour of the United States to meet with Professor Lewis personally. When I sat down with him, what he told me was more revealing and shocking than what I read in the book. And I decided to take a trip to Indonesia to see what they did. That took me to meet with the Minister of Planning of Indonesia, Minister of Education, Minister of Small Business, Minister of Small Villages, Minister of Health. I met the Vice President and the most celebrated president in Indonesia, Joko Widodo, to know what they did.
Okay.
When you do at all this, one thing is very clear: unity and competent leadership.
Okay.
Unity and competent leadership. And if you follow what they've been able to do, today Indonesia is a commendable success. Where they've moved now, they've become one of the over 1 trillion economy. The first in Southeast Asia, about 1.4 today, and the biggest economy in Southeast Asia with per capita of $5,300.
Wow.
$300. When Nigeria, again lamentably, is today our GDP have halved from what it was 10 years ago to 240 and below 1,000 per capita. What did they do differently? Competent leadership and unity have shown what you can do. In all the studies, like I said, following that, you've listened where somebody who won a Nobel Peace Prize said that Nigeria knows what to do to prosper.
Okay.
The 2024 Nobel Peace Prize winner in economics said Nigeria knows what to do to prosper, but refuses to do it. Professor James Robinson of Chicago University. I spent 3 hours with him in Chicago University to listen about what he has to say. It all boils down to unity, competent leadership that have capacity, have commitment and compassion to change the socio-economic of the country. That is what we are lacking. And that's what we need to change. What they did is not rocket science. It can be done here and we'll get the same result.
Yeah, sorry, my system just crashed on me. I don't know what happened, and yeah, I just had to restart all over. Hopefully, people join from the now ended stream. I think it was just an OBS thing. Yeah,
it is not rocket science. I've studied it. I've followed it all over. One thing that is common about all these leaders is that they build consensus of their people. And how did they do it? By being honest to them and telling them the truth. A leader must speak the truth.
Okay.
A leader must be trusted. A leader cannot be part of telling people one thing and doing the opposite. You must do the same thing. If you must ask people to fast, you should not feast.
Yeah.
Whatever you tell the people to do, the leader must show it. We can no longer sit in a country.
I mean, I agree with this. Even if you don't like Peter Obi, or if you don't like his followers, this issue of, you can't tell the people to fast while you're feasting. And that's the problem that I see with this Tinubu's administration, to be honest with you, where you came in, you told everybody that we're in a dire strait, that there's a lot of problems. Then the next thing is this: you start building this VP's residential stuff in Aso Rock. You start doing all these other projects. You start spending this money. The Senate, the National Assembly start buying like luxurious stuffs, running into billions. I mean, come on.
Where our leaders tell us lie. We cannot, they are truthful people. They live a life of just, and that is what is lacking here. We have a situation where we said we are fighting corruption, but we have monumental corruption in front of us. We have a situation where we have closed our shop, chasing thieves, and allowing other people to pack whatever remains in the shop away.
Yep.
We borrowed more money than we have ever borrowed. We saved all the money we are supposed to save, and yet our people are dying of hunger. There's insecurity. Nigeria has never seen this level of insecurity. We have never seen this level of hunger. We have never seen this level of division, where our country is so divided that we are at the point of hating each other. I have traveled all over the place. And my appeal to all of us, to those who are visiting us, that we must come together, united, to be able to fight this. We can no longer allow those by dividing us. We can no longer allow those who live by making us poor. Nigeria is not a poor country. We are looted into poverty, and we must stop that looting. Nigerians are not lazy people. We've been betrayed. Nigeria, we can no longer continue rewarding.
It's just surprising that Atiku is actually not here to welcome him. I guess, I don't know why, but again, it is what it is.
Criminals. We can no longer allow normalizing what is not normal. We must then change it. And to change it, we must come with unity of purpose. We are now talking about tax regime. How can you, everybody who knows about fiscal policy knows that tax is a social contract. A social contract that when you empower your people, they become more productive and they pay you more tax. How can you tax people who are unemployed? We have 130 million people living in multidimensional poverty. We have 80 million Nigerians, young Nigerians.
So what if the tax is also to actually tax those that are really making so much money so that we can take care of those that are not making? Because if you've read through, and I believe that Peter Obi would have read through that tax act, there's a problem is now, again, it's possible. Okay, it's possible that, there are one or two issues, but I don't think that tax act is actually aimed at getting the poor people to pay tax. I think it's the opposite. And that's my thought. Because I've read it, right? If you're making 800K a year, you're paying zero on that. So you will see more people that have been paying more tax in the past now actually get some more refunds at the end of the year when you file. The fact that you file tax doesn't mean that you're going to pay more tax. It could actually be you getting money back from the government, which is the way the real system has to work. So again, just saying.
Who are unemployed and you're talking about tax. You can't grow revenue when people are starving. You cannot grow revenue by throwing people into poverty. You must grow revenue. It's a bank account. You must pay in before withdrawal. These people are withdrawing without paying anything in. That must stop. And all of us here have a destiny to be part of that. To be part of that challenge. That's why we're here. We can't just say we are joining party. Why are we joining party? Are we joining party to continue the same criminality? Are we joining party to change that? We have become a crime scene. We are now called fantastically corrupt. We are now called disgraced nation. We now use everything. And I have gone around the whole state. I've been to IDP camps in Benue, in Plateau, in places where those who are in government fear to go or even fail to acknowledge publicly, denying it. I've been there. I see the people's pain. I see their pain all over. So we must turn around our country. God gave us everything. No country in the world that I can imagine that have what Nigeria has today. How can we be hungry? A country of 923,000 square kilometers. Today we are importing rice. Because I'm telling you rice is cheaper. We are importing the rice that makes our rice cheaper. From another country, clean our farmers. When we should be doing it. Tiny country like Bangladesh. Bangladesh, a country with about 1/6 of our size, high population as we are, is producing 10 times what we are producing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm back here. I don't know what happened. My stuff just went off, crashed the other time, so I had to actually just restart the whole thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, still listening to Peter B, and thanks for the like, thanks for the subscription, thanks for the comments. I appreciate that.
In fact, you can compare Bangladesh with our two biggest states. Bangladesh is less than 150,000 square kilometers of land. Wow. Our two biggest states, Niger at 76.3 and Borno at 70.8, is about the size of Bangladesh. And we have a population of 171 million. Yet they are producing 10 times the amount of rice we produce. That is unacceptable. We must change this. And that is why we are coming to say that we want to start turning around the country from consumption to production. Okay. A new Nigeria is possible. And we cannot make it happen. We can create that what is there. So all of us that are gathered here, I've been part of this coalition from day one. Because I've heard people say it's trying to defect or join party. I was part of this coalition from day one.
Is Nigeria a country or not? Yeah, of course, it's a country. As put together by the British, guys when they took over.
So people know I was part of it when it was being discussed. I was part of it when it was launched. I am saying that we are now calling. I thank all my leaders that are gathered here. You must have leaders. If you must be seen as a leader tomorrow. Have leaders here. Achikudenwa is here.
Peter Obi would need a solid strategy. The West wouldn't want someone of his pedigree to become Nigerian president. I don't know about the West not wanting him. I think he faces a bigger battle with even the incumbent, right? The incumbent, the guys, like, if you look at what's been happening for the past few years, there's been a high-level consolidation of power. And there's been also a successful scheme to kind of destabilize the opposition party. I blame partly the ruling party for that, and I also blame even the opposition party for that. So it then becomes how well they can actually tussle that. I don't know where I sound like I will roll. Maybe. I mean, it has that kind of an hour cap though.
Some help is there. Ben Obi is there. All these people are mentioning today, as you know, Abaribe is there. I know why I'm saying this. These are people who are my senior in age, in politics, in everything. And I thank them that we say we'll be a family. Yes. We are not going to be a family of crime. We are not going to be a family to deprive other people.
Okay,
we are going to be a
that.
family of change.
We'll see what happens.
A family that will create new Nigeria. That is what the family is all about.
But let's have a very frank conversation. Do you think that this would happen with them, Atiku, David Mark? I mean, I see most of these guys. They've been involved for a while. They've been part of the problems for a while. There's nobody in here, you know, that is kind of new to politics. Obi has also been a governor for a while. So I don't know. I mean, you tell me, do you think that these guys really represent the new? And I want us to be sincere with ourselves. I don't know. Do you think they represent the new? But again, this is the best we've got. And I'm happy that they can actually come together and at least fight like an opposition this time around. Hopefully, for the next 1 year, we'll see a real, you know, opposition fight. And that's what has been lacking for a while. The opposition has been, you know, disjointed. They're not together. But with Obi now coming to ADC, we can say that at least this is the face of the opposition now. And I expect to start seeing them do stuffs. For example, on the issue of insecurity, like, I expect them to start, you know, pressuring the current one because the National Assembly is doing nothing.
We've watched people
definitions of terms
in midst of plenty and we're hungry.
Okay.
So we have all come together and to ensure that we become fully member of this coalition of ADC led by distinguished Senator David Mark. That is why we came together. We will in the coming months be able to tell you what this coalition have that is different from what is happening today. Because we must show the difference. That is why you are seeing from Osumbo to Tommy, they can.
Yeah, we can only stake our votes to choose from the available ones. Exactly, that's just the reality. That's just the reality.
They know what professors are suffering today. So their professorship must come with new ideas. We want to be able to change the country. Okay. And we are not just on ourselves going into ADC. We're also begging other people from other political parties. All the opposition must come together for the sake of Nigeria. Whether you're a PDP, NPP, or any other party, we are faced with the essential threat, which we must all fight for the sake of our children. A new Nigeria, productive, all-inclusive, united Nigeria, where we will see each other as love, where we will turn around the economy, starting from agriculture and manufacturing. The empty lands of the north must be cultivated. While the factories in the southern part of the country must now function, be employing people. Thank you. May God Almighty.
What is Pastor Tommy telling him now? To allow the guy to vibe.
We must now do that and ensure that we will now talk about how we are going to create wealth based on proper physical policy that creates wealth by ensuring that we enrich the people. Okay. So we can earn more. Those 80 million Nigerian youths, we must give them a hope to drive everything One of the things I learned in Indonesia is that...
Who is this? This is the potential presidential candidate in Nigeria for the 2027 election. You voted for him before, and you will again. Yeah, possibly would have fought me back in 2023. And not because I hated him, but just because I just felt like with the way the whole vote was splitted, that it would just be more like they dividing the winning vote. And that was what really happened at the elections. Although people fought me because of just telling them the basic truth. That, you know what, if Obi goes to run as presidential candidate, that it's gonna be like a win for Tinubu as at that. But now that they're coming together, I'm still kind of looking at what's gonna happen, looking at how the opinions of people will be shaped, and again, if they are able to sustain that momentum in 2023, possibly they have a shot, at Aso Rock. So we'll see what happens. Obi can never be worse than Bat. It's not about Obi. To be honest with you, it's about those people that will work with Obi. Okay, because again, from what we knew about Buhari, it was told that Buhari is this guy that is kind of at least in the corruption, no corruption will stand and all that, and then they voted for him based on that it was going to, help, destroy corruption and keep the Nigerian treasury and wealth for the people. But what we saw under Buhari, even though nobody can say Buhari stole a kobo, but what we saw under Buhari was just disappointing. It was a disaster. Disappointing is even an understatement. Like now we have these guys in Malami, 200 billion, corrupt case, allegedly stolen. We have the CBN governor, who should be in charge of the monetary stability of the country, having 750-something uncompleted homes. And that's just the one we know. That's just the one. We're not talking about the cash that has been stolen and the policies that made the whole country go down. So again, it's not just about just Peter Obi as a person. Let's note that. Because Buhari as a person, according to, now they're trying to come out to kind of do like a PR for him after his demise, writing the book from a military man to a statesman and all that. But the legacy was just not there because all the people that he surrounded himself with were the main problem. And I still blame him for that. So again, it's not just about one man. You want to look at the whole ticket. You want to look at the whole team. Now, if Atiku becomes the president and Peter Obi becomes the vice, then that might be another problem. Because the vice serves at the pleasure of the president. If the vice serves at the pleasure of the president, that is, the president can only do what the vice can only do what the president, delegates for him to do. And that's why, till tomorrow, Shibajo, even though it was a prof, it was a son, couldn't even achieve much. The only time he achieved was when Buhari gave him power. The first time he was sick, and that was the last time. That was the first and the last time he gave him power. So we'll see what happens. However, Buhari never disappointed me. He replicated what he did in the 80s. He has no will or direction. I agree with you. Yeah, we were one then. For those who lived under, his brutal dictatorship, that even in the 80s, people didn't really, like him because of his rigid stuff. And it didn't change, to be honest with you. People were thinking of the Buhari diagmo exactly against indiscipline. This Buhari was now hold and sit out. Yeah. That was the anchor. That was what they sold to us, right? That, this guy, corruption. In fact, it was aiming at fighting corruption, so that was telling people that, without your naira and dollar, they will become par. Although he denied saying that, later on when the reality of the office hit him. Yeah, people thought that even then, Idiagbontu was the guy, carrying the whole waters, doing this and that. But the assumption was that with Idiagbon, right, being the man that was calling the shot, that, maybe Oshibajo will be able to also call some shots. That didn't happen, unfortunately. So
95% of the employment comes from small businesses. And they were mainly youth. I went everywhere to see what they're doing. And it can be done in Nigeria. Imagine when we empower 80 million youths. And those 80 million youths either employ themselves or add one more person. We won't talk about unemployment in this country.
Oh, Malami married Buhari's daughter. Whoa, I didn't even know that. Wow, it's just more like a circle, right?
That's what we are doing, and we have people, senators here, dignitaries here. Look at, we have Ostobu here. He has been advising on economy. We want that he has advice to work on it. We look at Onyemu Ugochukwu. Okay. There's so many of you that are gathered here. Let us come as a family under the ADC coalition led by David Mark to turn around our dear country, to stop this lamentation, to stop this crying, to make sure that people in ID camp go back to their houses, go back to their farms, to make sure that no Nigerian wakes up hungry. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Okay,
thank you.
That's it. Buhari was just a marketer. He never had substance in uniform work, but I agree with you. Unfortunately, I mean, we're swindled, I would say.
Okute kaigeso, mone jeje monana, okute kaigeso, okute kaigeso, mone jeje monana.
Okay, so that's it.
Let me see. Back. Thank you very much.
I think every other person there seems to be boring to me. But again, let's see if there's anything more to. Okay, yeah, this is
will be 90 in a few days' time. My boss, our boss, the man that has taught me so much.
Okay.
The good and the bad. Distinguished Senator David A.B. Mark, National Chairman of the African Democratic Congress. Distinguished leaders, our leader, Okute Peter Obi. Distinguished leaders gathered here, particularly of the Southeast region, and our dear friends, leaders of the Southeast. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the...
Check this man's track record. I think he has a way. Is that Obi? Yeah. Again, I think more of that also has been in the more of that has actually been out there with respect to track record. Osibajo could have run a similitude of the Diagbon show, but for the cabals. And that's the challenge, you know. By moving all his diehard loyalists, Igbo and Obian to AC, he's giving himself a chance at the primaries. Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking also at it's a numbers game, but we'll see. I mean, I would love it that he wins the primaries against Atiku. Because Atiku said he's running. I would love it that he wins the primaries against Atiku, and then we'll see how we can actually push things. But again, I don't know. I mean, something just tells me that, they're just in there to just trick this guy in, but we don't know, right? Atiku may have repented and allow him to say, okay, fine, we're going to support you and we're going to make you the president. And I think that would be an honor. If Atiku can do that, even if Peter Obi doesn't win the general election, that would be an honorable thing to do. But I'm not sure he's going to do that. Because Atiku feels that the presidency is his right. You know, the guy's been actually clamoring for this thing since 1993. 1993. That's when he's been clamoring for that. And it feels like Obasanjo did him the strong thing by not allowing him, handing over to him, because it felt like he was actually the one, apparently the heir. You think so? I don't know. If that happens, wow, I don't know. I don't know if that will happen. I think it would have unalived. No, these people, they don't die early. They don't die early. I tell you.
Of humility and conscious.
I mean,
of the fact that
again, a lot of these people too, one way or the other, they have some corrupt stuff, with them. I'm not talking about Obi. I'm talking about even some of this is like, I mean, Look at David Mark, right? Allegedly, I'm not saying he is, but we all know Nigerian politicians. But again, people are now saying, okay, we want the less evil of the two. The less evil of the two is now the new chorus. In 2023, it was more of the structure of criminality or, the structure of credibility. So now the structure of credibility is merging with the structure. I was not the one that called the Atiku's team structure of criminality. It was Obi that called them the structure of criminality. Don't be mad at me. I'm just saying. For once, we saw the possibility of a working Nigeria for the few weeks when Osibajo held the reign. Yeah. Then he sacked. Who did he even sack then? He sacked this guy. I've forgotten his name. And then he also brought in the IFX window. There was a little bit of a reset with respect to the currency. Tried to do some police reforms, and the guy was like blazing. He's a just old guy. Calm down, calm down, all that. You're talking about Atiku, right? Yeah. I think he's, to be honest with you, I think he just needs to just step down and just do like IBB that stepped down, right? I said he's no longer, going to be interested in, politics. Hopefully, but I don't know.
Is being made today that I accept the rare honor to do the needful. The needful is that several Nigerians, and indeed, most importantly, of the Southeast extraction, have been waiting for this moment to come. Am I speaking what you know?
So someone said on the show, like previously, that if Atiku and Obi wins, then there's going to be also another claim by the Southwest that the Southeast, did indeed, sell out the Southwest. Again, it's politics. It's politics, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's a game of numbers. Whatever it is that happens, it's the game of numbers. So we'll look at how that happened. Now, I believe like don't do strong thing. He would have retreated to. Yeah, it wouldn't have retreated. Yeah, I know. It's all those people. Imagine these guys have been around since the 1960s. A lot of them.
Your Excellency, Senator David Mark, you have heard Okute. He has made the formal announcement. My job
is to finish it.
Is to propose, realizing the fact that by His grace and by virtue of my responsibilities in the past, I was part of nurturing our democracy till this date. Worked very hard to stabilize multi-party democracy in our country. Very well aware that there is no democracy without opposition.
Yeah, I agree.
In our time in the federal government, we ensured that opposition had their voice. Consequently, I do propose that all of us representing the vast majority of the Southeast political players in our country, men, women, youth, and indeed the special citizens, do propose and move that we all join the African Democratic Congress as a party that we shall use for the Southeast to get back to the federal government of Nigeria. Realizing that since 20...
No. You've got to be strategic, to be honest with you. I tell people Nigeria can never be better given the intentional interests of these class people.
2015, we have been excluded as a people. And we understand what that means.
Okay.
We are thirsty, we are hungry, we are desirous. We have strayed other platforms, and we are conscious of the fact that the platform that will satisfy our aspirations, justify our participation, a party that will be there for all, will be the African Democratic Congress. I therefore move that we all adopt, accept, and massively register to be members of the ADC starting from today. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so if they register as member of the ADC, that, like IDB rightly said, that gives OB a shot. Okay, it's just that I don't know how, massively that would actually tilt, because the ADC is being branded as an articles idea. That being said, with respect to, it said since 2015. So that means the Southeast did benefit a lot, from Jonathan. But what's your point with respect to, I know Dave Umahi is one of the big shots in Tinubu's government. And also, Ohanaeze came out to say that they're going to support Tinubu. So again, how strong is Ohanaeze's point of view with respect to the Southeast, and do they really have that power to actually sway voters? It's a question. I'm not saying that's what will happen. If ADC wins, they must not retaliate against the Southwest when it comes to federal appointment. I think there's no way. There's no way. If ADC wins, more often than not, it's just about interest. To be honest with you, if ADC wins, the Southwest they're just going to get the mandatory minimum. And that's how it works. They're going to get the mandatory minimum, which is, Minister of State, wherever they can, the Minister of maybe one or two major minister. I think it's not really more. It's just that people will definitely want to work with people that they are actually okay with. And that's what I think would happen. So again, at times, you may say that, they're retaliating, but again, I think it's just what it is. For example, if you want to do stuff, so you're going to actually first do it with people you know, and then you can also consider others. But it's just the way the Nigerian politics is kind of operates. However, if Nigerian gets better, we'll be surprised and we give thanks. Yeah, let's be optimistic. As long as they function exactly. Look at what they do more than where they come from. But we'll see. But again, it's a fair question, really, given Nigerians' dynamic, that people would always want to have their people in there. But again, I think we need to move also to start looking at, what people would do rather than where people come from. But again, Nigeria, I'm telling you, they vote based on ethnic, religious, and tribal lines.
Thank you very much. Omenka Horanya. I want to invite, on behalf of all of us here, particularly those who were part of the consultation.
And I think it's a strategy. They want to actually flood the ADC with, obedience. And obedience are not just Southeasterners, they're all around the country. So they want to flood ADC with that, and they also want to flood them also, not just with obedience alone, but also Southeasterners. So hopefully that can actually help, because Obi is not going to spend shishi. We need to move this country forward. The whole world has seen our backside with AJ's accident. It's unfortunate. There was a journalist that traveled. Hopefully we have some time to actually check on that one. I learned that the driver is going to be arraigned and he's been arrested. I don't know if that's true. But we'll see. Since 19 Kukuru, it's crazy. Yeah.
Before we arrived at this decision, I want to invite Professor Osita Ubu to come out and second this motion. Professor Osita Ubu is a professor of economics, development economics. Before we came here, we analyzed the economy.
No,
and decided that through here, we can revamp the economy of Nigeria.
Okay.
Go ahead. Second.
Without much ado, given the speech of Okute and the motion proposed by Honorable Ihedioha, former governor, I so second.
Thank you very much. Those who are in support of this motion, say aye. Those again say nay. All of them are absent. I want also put it on record, Mr. Chairman of the party, that people here are not only from the Southeast.
Oh, okay.
All the National Assembly members of Labour Party and some from other parties, ABGA, are all here. And those from the Southwest, the two House of Rep members, stand up. Show four. I'm talking about people from Southwest, the original Southwest people. Original. Show me and Benga, right? George. Yes. Atta. Yes, they are here. So it's not only Southeast. All our members.
Let's be sincere with ourselves. I mean, it's Southeast. There's, just two people. I mean, and I think it's fine because this is more like specifically done for Obi. And again, this is held in Enugu. So it's fine. I mean, I don't have any issues with that. You know?
Members are here. And you know that the senior senator, Ireti Kingibe, has already joined the party in FCT.
Yeah.
Edo is here, Osaro. Yes, Osaro is here. So you can see that Obi has taken all the people he made the way for in 2023 to the National Assembly here into ADC. We have about 18 of them.
No, that's not all. There were more than that. A lot of them has defected. They defected out of PDP, or out of LP to, I think, APC. Some have also defected also to ADC. Just to also put that out there.
Seated in the House of Representatives here, present.
Where's Alex?
Just now, I looked at my phone. I saw a text message.
Okay.
From a member of the House of Representatives representing Nnewi North, Nnewi South, and Ekwuchigo Federal Constituency. He's a member of the YPP. He told me that he had just listened to what will be said, that he has now joined this side.
Okay, that's
His
good.
name is Honorable.
That's good. Anywhere you go, once you say you're a Nigerian, they think you're a clown. Where? You really? It's like you have to hide under your American or British nationality to gain respect. Wow. I mean, I thought people people always ask you, where are you from originally? Even if you say you're from US or from Canada, they still ask that question. So it is. If the brave Ojukwu couldn't with the 1/3 of military instrumentalization, I doubt any future visibility. Well, again, yeah, you're right. I agree with you 100%.
Peter Ifeanyi Uzokwe, member House of Representatives. So now that the door is open, just watch and see how many people will cross over.
Yeah, and I like that momentum, right? It brings more people will start joining the ADC, and as they start fleshing out, various, operationalities, I think things should work out. What people will be watching out for, the most important thing in this whole thing is the primaries. How it's been held, and also the fight for the opposition, how they're able to also sell to people the possibility of a change. I know they've used that change thing in Nigeria, they bastardized it, but it is what it is.
Across the country. So thank you very much. We will go to goodwill messages. But these goodwill messages will be 1.5 minutes each, so that we're able to cover enough ground. May I start by inviting the leader of the Southeast Senate Caucus to deliver a goodwill message. His Excellency, Distinguished Senator, Ancestor, Engineer Hakot Abaribe, representing Abia South in the Senate.
So this guy has been a very outspoken critic of the Tinubu's administration.
ADC, AD&C. Let me do a symbolic thing first. Mr. David Mark, Chairman of ADC. This is the logo of the party on this cap, and I'm going to wear this cap for the first time. Let me also announce that this morning I resigned from the All Progressive Grand Alliance. So as of now, I am fully in ADC.
That's fair.
Following my brother and our leader, Mr. Peter Obi.
Oh, that's fair.
I wish all of us well, and I know that we're going to get there. When I was giving my last interview, and they were asking me, how do you think it will happen? I told them, Mboru. Every Igbo man knows what Mboru means.
Mboru, I don't know. They're creating a viable opposition in the ADC. I hope Atiku steps down. Then Bat will definitely have a run of his life. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, if Atiku steps down, so again, I'm just looking at it. To be honest with you, if Atiku steps down, then it's going to be OB versus maybe an El-Rufai or who else. And it's going to be a little bit tough, though. Yeah, though we don't want Atiku, we need his resources. And you also need his people. Actually, still like, he did well in the north. So you also need that. The only challenge with that is that if Obi, and this is just me, just looking at the temperature of the country and all that, is that if you have an Obi as a presidential candidate, it's going to be an uphill battle in the north. You need to be able to convince the north. And you may think that to you, economic prowess is what is most important to you, but to them, they may not even think in economic terms. Unfortunately, they may not think that. An average person, they kind of follow their leader. I'm still waiting. I don't know what the update is with is the NNPP? That's the Kwakwasia stuff and all that. I know it's been a kind of back and forth with respect to that. So I actually want to look into that after this, because that's also an important block. And those guys just follow whatever their leader says.
Now it's in Mboru.
When the time comes.
The time has come. The whole of us are going into ADC, and we shall remove the cancer that has held Nigeria down since 2015. We will remove that party that promised change but brought. What else did they bring?
Yes. We'll speak at the of the House of Representatives.
That party brought death and destruction to Nigeria. And so I wish everyone well and want to pledge my loyalty to our chairman, Mr. David Mark, and my party. My party. Which party is my party?
Thank you very much. There's what they say, mutatis mutandi. That is concur. All the senators here present. Senator Moye, where is he? Ayaka has already resigned. He was here. He has already resigned from Labour Party in writing. But because of time, I want to say that all of us have resigned the way Peter Obi resigned from the Labour Party. So we shall need caps. Many people will wear it now. Then goodwill message will continue. I would like to invite.
Okay. Don't underestimate the power of rigging. No sect should reserve the monopoly of election rigging. I agree. They must do a deal with him, guarantee him his luxury Dubai lifestyle till he dies in exchange for him to campaign for Obi. Yeah, I mean, if they can do that, yeah. But I think Atiku has stolen a lot of money, allegedly. To be honest with you, that I don't think money is what he wants. I think he has a lot of money. The guy, that has been, has been in charge of all the generators that is being imported to the country and all that. But again, you cannot say, maybe they're going to pay him. But will Obi be interested in that? That's the question. Maybe Obi is going to allow the bad guys to do that job for him. I'm just saying.
Professor Pat told me, leader of the big tent, also know we rubber. Now I'm already. But just a word, will pass you by.
ADC! The time is now to arise and shine. For the last 2 years, Mr. Peter Obi and I have been wandering around this planet trying to find out where it has worked. Academics, heads of states, in Europe, in North America, in Asia, we've met all these people.
Wow.
The formula is ready for a new Nigeria. And ADC will present it. ADC!
It's my...
No, that was very brief. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? To just buy out Atiku. He's like, he's rich now, he has money to, afford whatever luxury. Like, no, give him more money. And if he doesn't accept, give him more money. And then we'll see what happens with Atiku. But again, we'll see.
Distinguished privilege to invite Aisha Yusuf.
Oh, this madam.
Who is here?
Alasha's joining the ADC. She's now a partisan member of the ADC, which is good. Yeah. Let's see what she can do. Let's see how, she can actually move the conversation forward, and not just the conversation now, but the execution forward. Hopefully she runs possibly for something. In a country like Nigeria, you cannot survive without a good deal with the bad guys. I agree with you. That's why the structure of credibility has to merge with the structure of criminality, right? According to Peter Obi. We'll see what happens. But you just have to be careful because the bad guys don't give up easily. And even when you've done a deal with them, they still have a way of circumventing that deal to get what they want. I'm learning of this event of the 31st from a detailed work. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's been trending and it's really, moving the whole thing. That's why when something significant like this happens, I just take my time to listen to everything so that at least we can have the perspective from all sides and also get, inputs from people that are watching, which is good.
As a mobilizer and a great activist, where is she? She just stepped out. Go and bring her back. When she comes, she will greet the people. Back. She's coming. I have seen her hijab.
You hope 8PC will not plan moves in ADC. They already have moves in ADC. There's this honorable member from Kogi State. There is an ADC. Okay, ADC. He wears ADC. He's an ADC guy, but he wears the cap of Tinubu and claiming that there is no other ADC person other than him because he was actually elected on the platform of ADC in 2023. So that's the thing. How do you trust the bad guys to work genuinely with you? That's the question I'm asking. That's what I'm asking too. That's what I'm saying. That the bad guy can actually circumvent. Abure has markets. Abure will be fine. The Labour Party, see, the way the Labour Party is built is not built for a coalition. The Labour Party is more of an offshoot of the Nigerian Labour Congress. They have offices across the whole country. They have their own. So they don't think like politicians. They're not even good at politics. That was why they messed up the whole party. So they are just more like a power broker. Like most of these union guys, right? They are just more of just a power broker. They use it they use this cover of where the Nigerian Labour Congress, we are fighting for the workers, for the people that are working, for the salary earners and all of those, the traders and all that. But the reality of it is that they just use these platforms to cut deals for themselves. So that's one. That's why LP would never merge with any other party. LP had always been, they had a governor in the past. They will always just stay at that because naturally they are an offshoot of the NLC. And they're satisfied with where they are. Now, if an OB comes in, sometimes in the future, they will allow, okay, you can use our platform. But they don't have a transformative mindset. That's why they couldn't even figure out how to manage the crisis. You understand? And that's it. How do you trust the bad guy? Yeah, Aburi Aumake. Atiku can never step down. Yeah, we spoke about that. Atiku has always felt like he has the right to the presidency. But we'll see what happens, We'll see what happens. Again, Atiku is getting very old. And I think this is his last shot, in my own opinion. Obi thought he could do it alone when he joined LP. When he was rigged out, he realized he needed help from the bad guys. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the baddies, yeah, the baddies, right? Yeah, I mean, it's just quite unfortunate. What's going on with the Apapa old man of LP that was used to destroy the party? Yeah, he has done his job and he has gone quietly, he has gone off quietly. He did his job when it was needed, and I guess they're just keeping him there. Hopefully he doesn't join ADC. And we'll see what happens. Okay, we're waiting for Aisha.
Aisha Yusuf.
Maybe she took a bathroom break. And if Aisha takes a bathroom break, it's a hell lot of work, right? Before she kind of do everything. But we're waiting.
Yeah, she has come. Excellency. I called her because she speaks the truth. She's not afraid of anybody. And this ADC will never be afraid of speaking the truth. So speak the truth so that the people shall be set free. 1.5 minutes.
Nigerian people. Of the greatest.
This is looking like a Nance and SUG thing. Okay, it's fine.
Of the greatest Nigerian people. Good day to the high table. I've been given 1 minute.
Yes.
Whenever it is, I can speak not only for Nigeria but also for Africa.
Man, see, they always try to use this Martin Luther King voice, but Madam, how far now?
But today we had a great leader who said, it's all about unity. It's all about unity. We are united with the insecurity that affects every part of the country. We are united with the lack of employment. We are united with the things that are not working. The next time they tell you we are not united, remind them that the problems that face all of us, we all get it. And so therefore, we will put our hands together to make sure that Nigeria becomes an amazing country, a great country, one that we all will be proud of. And today, Nigerians have decided that they are going into the African, right? Give me the second one. Give me the third one. There is a reason why there is no party there. It simply means this is not the time for jollification like you would usually see. This is the time for Africans, Nigerians. Nigerians will lead the way. And this is the time for us all to come together and have that Congress, African Democratic Congress it is. ADC!
Arise and shine.
Yeah, you need 1,000 of grassroots people like MC to win election. Uluomo, right? I do not underestimate the importance of grassroots people who will hide a rig or fight election rigger. Yeah, they need to have a well-structured, plan. And a well-structured, I would say, what's the word now? A good structure that would be actually known all around the country to the last word. And I think they're able to do that. Given these people coming from the PDP, I think they do have a very, very solid structure on ground. I think Peter Obi would also ride on that. Hopefully, speak the truth. To speak the truth, politics is something everybody must study in depth. No permanent friend or enemy. Still all exactly. Yeah, that's it. It's all about interest. It's all about permanent interest. Who married I think she has a good husband, I believe. The husband too. I think there was certain allegations online that the guy also people were calling the guy out to come and tell us how he made his money, given that he was just a federal government worker. But I don't know where that led to. That's it. The strategy room should put all those in place. Yeah, they need a very solid, rock solid strategy to have a shot at it, and I think they will be able to get that. These are gladiators, right? You see people on this high table. They would have been people who have rigged election before. So again, they will be able to actually, do the dirty job for Obi. Obi will not do anything with respect to all those dirty jobs, we all know. But we know the guys that will do everything so that at least there'll be plausible deniability from Obi's side. And that's how politics work, right? They just need Obi to be able to get that number, at least the Southeast number. They want to have that locked in. So once that is locked in, then they work on their own base, northern base, and then we'll see what happens.
Arise.
A, D, and C.
Arise and shine.
Before I leave, I want to say here, sir, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, I have never been in any political party. I have refused to be a card-carrying member of any political party. But as my leader, I give you my words that I will proudly be a card-carrying member of ABC.
Thank you.
And David Mark, you might not remember, over 11 years ago, under the rains, we cried together. And Honorable,
for David Mark? Really? So I share all this activism, I beg now. Oh, you say, I hope you're not in Nigeria. You're saying some big things that the bodies don't like. We all knew how election went during Morisi's time now. Is there a reason why we don't even hear from me? Is it still alive? Morisi Wu. We all know how these things run now. During Obasanjo's time, I think elections started to make sense. And that was one thing that you can never take. You might hate Jonathan. That's one thing you can never, take out away from Jonathan. It was the one that started election reforms with Jaga and all those guys. Again, we'll see what happens. I hope you're not in Nigeria. Yeah, but that's the reality now. All these people here now, these are PDP guys now. Let's not forget, but again, hopefully something good will come out from it. Our kids studied in UK and work here now, so money must have come from somewhere. He claims he's an accountant. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to get into her personal. She's trying her best, She's trying her best, and I give it to her too. So now she's a member. So we'll see.
You might not remember, but we cried together. You were outside in the rain. When we stood up, I had turned 40 and I realized that silence was no longer an option. And when Chibok girls were taken away and we came to the National Assembly, both of you came out and you stood in the rain and you cried with us.
Yeah, but they were also in, there were guys in power then. No. What did they do? Forget all the cry. That's nonsense. I can cry. Aisha can cry. Right. IDB, are you joining the ADC? They need members, so they need people like IDB. IDB is a strategist individual, And again, it's just what it is, right? She can cry, but these guys were in power then. Why didn't they rescue all the Chibok girls? Unfortunately. I hate it when I see people that are in the position of power cry. You have the power to do something.
Shed tears, and we are still shedding that tear. Enough is enough.
All of you shed tears, but some people got the money. Some people cashed out.
There is no more time for us to shed tears. We have cried too much. From this moment on, we are in the trenches. We will fight for Nigeria. We will have a great nation. ADC will take us and give us the Nigeria where the child of nobody can become somebody without knowing anybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that used to be Buhari's phrase then. That was working for Nigeria where the son of nobody will become, that knows nobody will become somebody and all that. And I mean, yeah, that's that about that. So again,
you can see that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Don Pedro gives first hand account. Okay, we have confidence in Peter Obi, Yunusa Tanko's species. Okay, I just have to say, let's put the likes up and maybe towards the truth and actual development towards in Nigeria. Kind of like and subscribe. Yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Obi defection, I'll work with whoever. This guy has been on Obi's case, and I don't even know if if this is something I want to watch. Let me just see. There's been a lot. I'll leave Peter Obi's corner if he accepts somebody else to become the VP. This 24 minutes. Alex Oti, what's happening with Alex Oti? Powerful people forced me out. This is Kemi Adeosun. She used to be the Minister of Finance. Powerful people forced me out of Buhari's cabinet. Oh, wow, there's a lot of things actually being said here. Peter Obi entering the ADC, in pole position, one step. I've actually helped the ADC. Peter Obi is our political party. We'll follow him wherever he goes. Okay, exactly. We'll follow him wherever he goes. It's now ADC as long as he's choosing flag bearer. Nothing's going to stop us. Anywhere Obi goes, we go. Okay, that's what someone is saying. We'll see what happens. Obi will shake the political atmosphere with joining the ADC. That's another talk. Let me see what I should actually listen to out of all of this. Before I move to this Don Pedro issue, I don't want to talk about that one now. You saw the guy that went to London. We did watch that. I went to serve, is it Albert? Some papers, let me see. Okay, let me just go to X to actually see what's happening there with respect to this defection. Peter Obi defects to ADC. Let me see, declares for 2027 presidential run. X is that place where you can actually get so much different things. So I'm flying all around the world. We heard about that one. Peter Obi is definitely suffering from what? What is this? No, I actually want to watch the defection. I've flown British Airways multiple times. No, this is not it. I will not be a vice president to anybody. Let me just see Peter Obi defect and let me see what people are saying on X. I mean, this is the major thing. Bola Tinubu is turning into a thief. He wants to this is June 2025. Peter Obi defects to ADC. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So how did people convince themselves that a supposed common accountant have better economic prospect to make their job better than a man was a chairman of the 3 national banks in Nigeria until CBN kicked against it and he had to choose one of the banks? Comparing Tinubu to Peter Obi should be a crime. That's one person's talk. Ife Salako said that. Quite worrying. Okay. Quite worrying that Aso Rock's only message to Nigeria since yesterday has been Peter Obi from Boala to Bayern. Of course, because he was the one that defected. Yeah, that's what is trending. Like, what's this guy talking about? That's the news. That's why everybody's talking about it, not just Aso Rock. And it's been Peter Obi because he's the new guy, in the block. And he's the one trending in the news. Please, no debate. For the record, those of us who negotiated and orchestrated PO's entry into ADC for the purpose of rescuing Nigeria did so on a single agenda, PO the presidency, for the presidency, nothing else, nothing less. So there's going to be a mini, possibly a mini fight, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens. The line went off after Peter Obi's declaration for ADC, a bad omen for bad joy, ambition, and a sign of ill luck.
Thank you very much.
What's this? But I don't know how this is an APC talking point. I mean, this guy, thank you for bringing this to light. Peter Obi has been vocal about the epileptic power supply in the country. Exactly. Tinubu has done nothing to improve the electrification of, this is a home goal. This is just an home goal. Yeah. And again, that's just quite unfortunate. Light went off when he said he was actually joining the ADC. Welcome to 2027. Peter Obi's reckless misreading of politics and power. 14 hours ago. It remains if the recent decamping of Peter Obi from Labour Party to ADC was intended to detonate like a political bombshell, it failed spectacularly. Why? What arrived instead was a dull thought on Rebecca. Okay, blah blah blah. I mean, this is a long who sits down to write all these things? The absence of seriousness was laid bare. We'll see what happens. I mean, this is a long read. I'm not going to read all this. But it is Peter Obi has declared his presidential ambition under ADC. As he made the public announcement, the power supply went off. Okay. Yeah, that's what people are just talking about. Nothing of substance here. But it is what it is. I see Peter Obi as the right man to lead ADC. What about you? It took 48 hours of brainstorming to come up with this imprisonment ambition. Okay. So that's that about that. Let me see what Alex OT is saying, because they need Alex OT, to also get some momentum. Alex OT seems to be giving me a different vibes. I don't know why. Alex OT seems to be giving me a different vibe at this point. Okay, Happy New Year. Yeah. Governor Hope Uzodinma visit Governor Alex OT at his residence. Why is an APC guy? Hi, Harvey. Why is an APC guy visiting this guy at this point in time? I don't know, man.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I've not seen anything from Alex Oti with respect to this. Is he joining the coalition? Is he joining? I don't know. I mean, the last tweet from him, let me see, was just wishing people a Happy New Year, and that was it. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't made any intention of him trying to join or not. But we'll see what happens. Let me see if there's anything on Alex Oti. Because I've been watching out. His body language seems to be kind of odd at this point in time. I will not defect with Peter Obi to ADC, says Governor Alex Oti. Why?
I joined the Labour Party before Peter Obi. Okay? So I didn't join the Labour Party with him.
Wow.
And he has communicated me that he was leaving the Labour Party.
Okay.
And I gave him my blessings. But I remain in the Labour Party. And I told him that I'll have to continue the struggle to rescue Labour.
Wow. So he's not joining the ADC. Hi, Abe. Oh, you're from Canada. Wow. I hope the snow is not becoming too much. Wow. So he's actually not joining. Okay. What's happening here?
Party. That is the party that brought me to power. If we fight and get to the end, we can retrieve Labour Party, then we can now discuss options. But for now, I am not defecting with him.
Okay, so that's Alex Oti. I was saying that actually the guy decided.
I joined Labour
Sorry,
Party.
Don't let me dislike this. It's just quite. Yeah, that's just that. The same thing with Batty also. What's up with Batty? Is he joining? I mean, Ahmed, that was the person that ran. Hi, good morning. Good morning, Nasa Oluwo. Hi, Kechuku. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the follow. I really do appreciate it. We'll see what happens. It's becoming, Alex Oti ranked the best governor in Southeast, but they're going to put pressure on him. I expect that they start putting pressure. Put pressure on everybody. You must join ADC. Today, Bakari also said they've been putting pressure on him to actually join. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's it. So Alex Oti is still with the Labour Party. So that will be the only party that we have as of now. And again, it is what it is. It's all about politics. And I think he joined them from the APC, right? If I'm not mistaken. So maybe he's still loyal. But again, there's this guy, what's it called? The Deputy Senate Speaker, is also saying that, he doesn't know that possibly, okay, that he also wants to actually win. And that's I think is Kalu, right, Deputy Senate Speaker. It's been also trying to also go against this guy Alex Oti. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's a guy here, Ben Kalu. Yeah. So he's also trying to actually see if can actually, get hold of Abia State. But we'll see what happens. I think Tinubu has given all of them something more like a target to see how far they can actually, go. But that's that about that. I want to talk about something else. I think we've spent considerable time talking about Obi's defection. Let me see one more thing, and that's this guy.
Different matters. I mean, you saw that report. The police have since said, okay, we will hold on until the matter is over and done with. That is what NBA has been saying all the while. So whatever other reasons they're giving, well, insofar as they comply with the ultimate decision, that's what that is about. We've got this morning, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo is a public affairs analyst, a columnist, there's a lot of political parties. We'll come to that in a minute. But the president his spokesperson put up a statement the other day, a New Year message to Nigerians in terms of what to expect. So those who were expecting a broadcast, your hopes were dashed. But he did have that, he said he hopes to be a beginning of a more robust phase of economic growth in his New Year goodwill message to Nigerians. He talked about the economy, the progress they've made in the economy.
Let's see.
How, from that perspective, the inflationary figures, they say, have appreciated. Talking about the agri sector, how they also intend to continue in that light and ensure that we have a lot more progress. Many view that statement from different perspectives. So let's get your broad perspective of what you make of that statement in connection with the reality on ground.
Well, the government of Tinubu cannot cease to continue to surprise me. Each time I think they've reached the limit of incompetence, they still blow that limit. First of all, that topic, 2026, marks the beginning of a more robust phase of economic growth. I was offended by that phrase, the beginning. Almost 3 years into the regime of a government, he's coming out openly to say he has not begun. The beginning to begin. And obviously it's an admission of failure because he has actually not begun anything. You saw how he embarrassed the world by saying that inflation has come down to 15%. Let me state that clearly. That's a white lie. Before Tinubu came in, the highest he could pay for flight ticket from Abuja to Enugu, give it even 50,000. So we were paying 25,000, that's something thousand. 15% means that you just pay like about 57,500 naira. But going to Enugu, I paid 250,000 naira flight ticket. That's almost more than 500% increase in inflation. And the president is sitting down in a New Year message telling Nigerians about the rebased fraudulent inflation figure, that it is 15%. It's embarrassing and very annoying.
No, but again, I mean, just to be fair, I mean, the way inflation doesn't mean prices come down. Inflation means prices gone up. So the 15% is just saying that whatever it is that you paid the prior year, there's a 15% increase in that. So again, I mean, there's always this misconception when it comes to inflation. The fact that they tell you the inflation rate has gone down doesn't mean price in the absolute form is down. Okay, so again, I mean, you cannot fault the numbers, except you're telling us that they've cooked the numbers. Okay?
The best this government can even do is to speak the truth. And they say if you lie on a new year, on the first day of the year, you will lie throughout the year. That was what we were told when we were growing up.
Dude.
So I expect that this president is going to, and this government is going to lie throughout the year. Now, look at the speech. Let's talk about the security in Plateau State.
That's a
they were preparing for crossover, only to be attacked by terrorists. 8 persons confirmed dead. Of course, there will be more. They will never cross over to any other new year in their lives. More than 8 families are grieving now.
One thing that I still kind of feel so bad and so disappointed in the Tinubu's regime is the fact that they allowed the security situation to kind of degrade and to this level. And you cannot take that he's solely, I mean, I put that solely on the president, on Tinubu himself, unfortunately. Yeah.
Because of a government which, even with the help of foreign country, can still not do anything about insecurity. And the annoying thing is that they say this was after security report has reported that they were going to attack. In the southwest, the son of a traditional ruler was kidnapped. In Nasarawa, people went into where they were doing wedding and kidnapped and killed people. Security is still very much, insecurity is still very much with us. Yep. So what is he celebrating the New Year? And I'm sure he is staying in one hotel in one European country, frolicking with the foreign presidents and coming to speak from there.
Well, we don't know what he's doing.
Those guys said they don't know what he's doing. What else?
He is now.
We understand that he's supposed to go for a summit
on and tell you
in UAE.
How this government has become destructive.
Yeah, before that, about security. What do you expect, especially with the intervention, or in fact, they said it was a cooperation between Nigeria and the US with that bombing in Sokoto. What do you expect in terms of the outcome, having an end to terrorism?
Good. First of all, there is no cooperation between America and Nigeria.
Yeah.
There is a compulsion from America.
Yeah, this is going to be one of Tinubu's, balls being dropped. Major one, unfortunately. Because, yeah, really, it was just that America needed to have its way. That was what really happened. That was what really happened. And again, it's that bad.
Something.
Compulsion?
Yes.
Can that be?
If you do not take out these terrorists, who will come gun a-blazing to do it for you, what else can speak to the eloquence of the incompetence of this government?
No, but Africa,
for the first time in Nigeria, a foreign country will now come to help to save Nigerians from Nigerians.
Yeah, that may be the case. But what about when AFRICOM says themselves and several other people, even the Secretary of War, all of them say, look, yes, Nigeria did cooperate with them. So
because they didn't choice.
That is what I am saying. After the threat, Goodluck Jonathan brought in foreign people under the sovereignty of Nigeria. And they took out the terrorists. 6 weeks to the election, they postponed the election, took out the terrorists, and we had the election throughout Nigeria.
Yeah, and again, talking about taking out the terrorists, let me see if I can actually play this stuff. Because it's I know you guys don't like this guy.
You want to be like them. So far they throw you say small change, you are quick to forget. Should we talk about what happened in Donald Trump bombing of Sokoto? Since I've been following bandit news and everything, I know the year saying they happened for Sokoto. But now, Donald Trump bombed Sokoto that they kill leaders. So are they saying that it is the caliphate in Sokoto that is hiding all these bandits and terrorists in Sokoto? Then from Sokoto, they are sending them to...
I don't really agree with what this guy says for most times. But again, this one, I think I do agree with his perspective here with respect to the question that he asked. Why Sokoto? Because even when I heard that the U.S. military did the bombing and all of that, I wasn't expecting that it would be Sokoto. I was thinking that, maybe Borno or Kaduna or all those places, right? Maiduguri, Sayot, Zamfara. And as Sokoto, I know there's been activities in Sokoto, but I didn't even believe that a lot was actually happening there.
Destroy Nigeria, because that's the only thing I understand for what Donald Trump do. When I watch the news in this country, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Zamfara, Borno. Now they hear say banditry they happen wella. I know they say bomb blow for any of these places. They say the same bomb go Sokoto. So what has been happening in Sokoto where our government know they talk about? Is that the headquarters where they hide? They don't do anything. They never hear say bandit, anything happen for Sokoto. The only thing that they hear say they do for Sokoto be say they kill people for they kill one girl, say he talk about Mohammed. The Ross go kill her inside university.
Okay, so again, I just wanted to bring that out with respect to this. I didn't get a question. This man, a politician. I'm surprised. The only weak man I know in these Niger programs. I'm surprised. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about this guy? Nkoko, right?
After the threat.
Ocean Kudi.
So, you know, before the threat, you know what Tinubu said? I will do this, I don't care what Donald Trump does. He made it in public statement. I'm like, what are you saying? Then Donald Trump now did something. And Tinubu, hey, sir, what do you want? Do you want to kill all Nigerians? Just leave me as president. It is ridiculous. Let me tell you.
Did you say that?
There is nothing wrong in cooperating with anybody, any country, in order to solve security problems. But in this case, they are giving you the instructions. We now have a new commander-in-chief of the armed forces in President Trump, not Tinubu, because Tinubu has failed. And he has admitted it, because he allowed America to come in to do what he ought to do. Do you know?
So you don't agree?
Before Tinubu,
wait, you don't believe
Nigeria
that Nigeria
was
gave
doing
US
to the whole African countries what US is doing for Nigeria
so
now.
you don't believe that Nigeria, from what their statement is, they gave the states the intel to actually carry out that attack.
Believe that due to the incompetence of Tinubu, America compelled Tinubu, America compelled Tinubu to do what he ought to have done.
Again, I mean, I might not agree with his political stuff, but I agree with his explanation in the sense that, you know what if Trump, okay, let's look at it this way. What if Trump hadn't tweeted? Would we have even gotten any major answer or response from the government of Tinubu with respect to security as of today? You know, yeah, I made a comment that, you know, we started seeing changes, you know, when Tinubu tweeted. But again, someone called me and said, no, the changes with respect to the military chiefs and all that came after the coup attempt, that we don't even know if it was a real coup.
Okay, let's talk politics.
Okay.
Let's talk politics, because that was a lot to take in. P2B is now in the ADC.
And you are in
Congratulations.
the NWC.
Right?
Well, when
congratulations in order here.
Thank you very much. I remembered telling you in this studio that ADC is the only option for all opposition leaders. And I made 3 predictions. I said PDP, LP are dead. APC will implode. 2 have been completely settled. PDP, LP are dead. APC is already cracking up and will implode. That is why Tinubu is forming a committee of reconciliation. Do you reconcile what is okay?
They are planning.
I mean, the party is very big right now. There will be different dissenting stuff. I mean, they already said the APC will implode since 2015 after Buhari won. For them to have even been able to hold on this long, you know, and then have, you know, produce a subsequent president, despite the fact that Buhari's 8 years was a disaster, you know, and again, it's gonna be like that. You're gonna have people not agreeing with whatever it's happening at the center. You're gonna have dissent. You're gonna have fights. That's what political party is all about. If you're surprised that is happening, then I don't know. Maybe you don't really know about politics, but that's fine. Again, as a result of that, that's why you have Tinubu trying to bring in some reconciliatory stuff, which I think ADC also is going through its own, because there are certain factions in ADC saying that, you know what, we're not part of this new ADC. The whole party was hijacked by the powers that be. But again, it is what it is.
Head now.
No, I said
normal.
reconciliation.
Reconciliation, because it's better to plan before the
call it
quarrel.
planning committee. So you are
plan reconciliation before the quarrel starts. Then when the quarrel now cracks up, the party now starts to create committee.
The quarrels are already there. Academic state by state. It's just because of time.
Okay, so let's go back to the ADC.
Very good. Oh, beautiful ADC.
Yes.
You know,
Peter Obi is there now.
Yes.
Are we going to be working together?
Now, let me tell you. The Southeast obviously has become an ADC state. ADC geopolitical zone. Do you know what we say now in Southeast?
What?
It's quite just
Obondioma nanigi kaigeso Obondio ADC ubani yeso numunne Obondioma nanigi kaige.
That's just a very funny clown.
But you're assuming that they will give the presidential ticket to Peter Obi. Why they don't give Peter Obi that presidential ticket?
Let me tell you.
Well, it's not assuming that. No.
Anybody you see in ADC is allowed to get into ADC on one condition. You must be a true Democrat. One thing ADC will not compromise on is internal democracy and living on the tenets of democracy. No leader, no opposition leader was allowed to give conditions before entering in, because we want to exercise discipline. So that is why everybody took their time to come into ADC, because we want that foundation to be solid. Now Southeast is gone ADC, like I said, they will. Any other politician who is not in ADC, who wants to do any other parties working for Tinubu,
are you working?
It's as simple as that.
Are you going to work with Peter Obi? Because remember the last time.
He is an ADC member. We work with every ADC member. Be rest assured. Whoever emerges as the presidential candidate of ADC, I will work for the person.
Even if it's Peter Obi?
Why not? Okay. But I said this so many times. I don't have any personal rift with anybody. I am saying that when you come as a group, you bring your people as a group, you have more bargaining power. Southeast now has more bargaining power in ADC. So for the interest of our people, we must cohere and collaborate with other regions.
Even if Peter Obi doesn't get that presidential ticket,
yes,
even if it's someone else who gets it, the Southeast will still support that person.
Why not?
In your view?
Why not? Peter Obi himself said it in the X space. He said, look, he's going to work together with every ADC person in order that the best will get the job. In democracy, unfortunately or fortunately, the best becomes who the people choose. That is the principle of democracy. Government of the people.
Yeah, there's a clown. I don't know what to say, because again, I mean, at least all the fight that he had with Peter Obi when he was leaving the LP, I think we can put that to rest right now. Hopefully they both work together as one. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where that leads.
Yeah, he's given his own perspective too.
You know what they say? They said ADC was dead on arrival. Before we even started, they say we are dead.
No, they didn't say ADC was dead on arrival. The coalition. Again, if you're judging based on the coalition, this wasn't a success. Because coalition means different, part of the same thing coming together to form one. But that's not what we've seen. What we've seen is individual politicians living. So it's more like a defection. Okay? This is not a coalition. This is more of a defection of individuals, because Atiku didn't bring PDP. It brought some people in PDP, don't get me wrong. Peter Obi didn't really bring in LP as a party. It brought some people in LP, okay, who is able to actually work with. Alex Oti, as we speak, is not joining the ADC as of today. He might change his mind tomorrow. So again, when we say coalition, I understand coalition from the standpoint of individuals coming together, but it's not a political party coalition. It's just more of players and all that coming together to say, okay, fine. All these other parties have been destroyed, even though we went in those parties. But now we want to come together, to
I was one who came out and said, how can something that is not born die? So you can see how we are flourishing on arrival.
Dumebi doesn't agree.
I mean,
Dumebi Kachiku said, he doesn't agree with Ubondioma. He doesn't agree with Ubondioma at all.
Then he is in Ubondiojo.
He says that you people are Ubondiojo because
okay, he said
yes,
okay.
because he says first of all that this whole coalition, he says it's illegal. Let's begin from there.
Very good.
He says you people came in through the back door. You are not the real people that own this party. They are the ones that were there. You came, bulldoze the place, and think that they would lay low and watch you do what you're doing. They say they are going to be a thorn in your flesh. You're not going to be able to succeed.
Now, let me tell you, ADC loves everybody, including Kachuku. And we want everybody, including Chamberlain and Kayla. Good. But the truth here is that ADC has been in existence from 2005. I heard about Kachuku the first time in ADC when he himself bulldozed himself and became presidential candidate in the last election with his maybe 5,000 or 10,000 votes. Okay. So the issue here is this. What is he in ADC that will make him to give instructions? He's not a member of any executive at any level.
You see, that's the problem. That's the big problem. So there's been, agitations in APC. Okay, people are like, you know what, we've not been treated well. The center and the state at times have this thing. Now, what is Tinubu doing? He actually did set up a committee to look into those, issues and try to create some level of flexibility, which he did say that we need to be kind of flexible. We need to be open-hearted and we need to bring other people in. You may not agree with APC as a party. You may not even like them. You might hate Tinubu with all your might and all your mind and everything. That's fine. But he's doing something to bring all this agitation to bear by having what's it called again? A committee look into it, bring recommendations, and try to make, warring sides, come together. The same thing is happening with ADC because there are some people who say that we are the legacy members of ADC. We actually have been in this party. And this is not just anybody. This is number one, the former presidential candidate of the ADC. Now, this guy ran against Tinubu and Atiku in 2023, even though we don't know them like that because they don't have that virality that Peter Obi got. Another one is this guy who is an House of Rep member, okay, who also ran in 2023 and won and is a sitting House of Rep member. Now, you guys that took over the ADC, you've actually discarded those guys and say that they don't matter. Can you see the difference? Can you see how ADC is trying to set itself up for failure in the future? Now, that might not really affect them, to be honest with you, because you have the gladiators there and they're going to walk around things. But again, that is the mindset. Now, this guy, Kenan Ogonwe say, oh, who are they? I don't even know him. Again, that's why these problems become bigger. Because they are not addressed at the time when they should be addressed, unfortunately.
Now he has been expelled from ADC. He does not have the look.
Now, that was what happened. They expelled him. You expelled the presidential candidate of the party that you guys hijacked. Allegedly, that's not what I said. It was maybe the presidential candidate that said that. Then the House of Rep member also, sitting House of Rep member in that party also was actually, I believe, was also expelled. I need to fact check that. And then you'll be like, oh, this is the true democracy. This is the democracy party. This is all that. I mean, it's all messed up.
Who's standing to talk about ADC? The only thing he can go to court now is to contest whether it is legal or not, his expulsion, before he will even come to start talking about ADC. So when you want to tell me about ADC, let it be members of ADC that you will talk about.
And it's not only him. There are so many people that were in that party.
It's just the contradiction that I don't like. It's just the contradiction I don't like. You were touting this is the real democratic stuff. And now you're saying that, well, it's not a member because he was expelled.
And all of them are very upset about everything that's going on. They're saying, look, you're not...
You call it bulldoze your way.
Yeah.
Kela, I don't know where you got your information from. but I'm aware that the national chairman of ADC, Ralph Nwosu, is the one who voluntarily relinquished his post and all the national executive members, and then admitted men that they believe are men of substance that will build the Nigeria.
Again, you're talking about Nwosu, Ralph Nwosu. Ralph also made a deal. Did he carry all the party along? Because there was actually on Channels TV with Shewoki Baloye, where Dumebi Kachiku actually brought in other state members of the ADC. They said their names were forged in whatever it is that Ralph Nwosu did. When he gave you guys over the power and you guys, the reins in the party. So what are we talking about? That has not been resolved. Instead of you, okay, you're blaming Tinubu for actually setting up a panel, okay, but instead of you to also do the same thing, knowing that there are true agitations, you're not doing that. You say, oh, do maybe talk to who is he? Who even knows about the guy? Do maybe what? Okay, now let's see how it goes. It's better, and I'm advising you guys right now, even though I'm not in your party and I'm not even a fan, but I'm advising you guys right now, set up a committee, look into that issue, call Dumebi, call the House of Rep member. I mean, House of Rep, that's one of the big shots in that party. Call them together, tell them, let's resolve this issue. Really, what we want to do is actually to rein in power from the APC in 2027. This is a distraction. Come and be a part of this team. But what you've done, you've expelled him, and you say you should go to court. I thought it was APC that used to tell people to go to court.
Our dream. Have you seen him complain?
So Ralph
you
Nwosu
try and withdraw that statement that all of them.
Ralph Nwosu.
I just gave you. Can you name other ones?
Ralph Nwosu created this party, right? He was the head of this.
Thank you.
Now,
the founder,
but he didn't
the
want
national chairman.
Hold on now.
He
wasn't running a political party by himself.
He
had people that were working inside.
Sure.
Now, Dumebi Kachiku and other people like him say that when Ralph Nwosu made that decision,
other people like him
when Ralph Nwosu made that decision, that they were not carried along. Dumebi at least says he wasn't carried along.
Okay.
And then you want him to be okay with that. If someone did that to you, you would not be happy with that.
You said he said, and they said. Yeah,
how about this one? So, you know,
I
Fubara
know that everybody, including him, was consulted. We do not leave.
So what did he say?
We did not leave anybody.
Did he agree?
Behind.
When you consulted him, did he say okay?
Very good. In law, fair hearing means you are given an opportunity to defend.
No, when he said it was consulted, I mean, you came to ADC after it was set up. I'm not even sure what role you played in that. I'm just saying, but again,
defend yourself, not whether you came to defend yourself. We mustn't agree in all things.
But at the moment,
so he was.
So you mustn't agree in all things. But again, I mean, that's in principle. If you had agreed in principle, then it doesn't make sense for him to have actually, gone to court to challenge that. So it means he didn't agree in principle.
Given the opportunity, consulted.
I know you must have heard that a certain Fubara Gombe has gone to court to challenge the interim leadership of Senator David Mark and claiming that his appointment alongside the secretary, Rauf Aregbesola, violated the party's constitution and the internal democracy process. So they say they will fight it to the end, that team, they are all imposters.
Yeah, that's stale news. I treated this particular issue on this seat with Kelamegwa.
But it hasn't.
All these ones no matter. Okay. I mean, you mean these guys talking, all those people, the Nwosu and all that. Or the Kachikudu maybe and all that. Again, yeah, it's possible that they don't really matter, but I'm just saying that I hope it's not a blind spot when it comes to Nigerian politics and ADC. I hope it's not a blind spot, because if you don't address that issue now, you don't want it to get to a point where you're now at the nick of, the internal politics and all that, and then there's a judgment from the Federal High Court to say, oh, these guys actually have a point. Oh, it's just distraction. Okay. It's not. It's just distraction. Okay. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
The case is still
a lot of things are in courts. Some have lasted 15, 16 years. There's a case I'm handling from High Court. It's now in the Supreme Court. Started from 2008.
Not this time.
To us, we want it in Court of Appeal.
No, not this time. The formation has been said. Yeah, I mean, we've seen, this guy, the camp, Defects, Peter Obi and all that. But I just hope Because the truth is this: if this thing gets fast tracked, and Dumebi comes and say, oh, when Rafuosu was actually giving over the party, I would say maybe selling over the party, they weren't consulted. There were state chairmen and all that have come out to say that their signatures were forged. And the federal court now gives a verdict that is against what these guys want. Then it becomes a function of, the legislature, the judiciary, everything is corrupt. I'm saying why there can't be a gentleman agreement to, okay, fine, they're just two people. Call them in, tell them you have to be part of this. But again,
and now they are
what do I know?
But this type of matter, in other words, you're not bothered by this kind of case. Whether you could even go against.
The court has no jurisdiction to interfere in internal affairs of political party. It is settled.
Oh God!
And you're saying one Nafi, do I know him?
You don't have to know him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Everybody can go to court. There's an open door. You know what? ADC will burn the
But how do you think that Nigerians will look at all those in the ADC now? For instance, if Peter Obi does not emerge as the flag bearer, the presidential candidate, there's a group of his supporters who think, listen, there is absolutely no way that we're going to settle for anything less.
This is politics. They just need proper settlement. Exactly. And I'm saying just settle them and let them go. Don't let them be that clog in that wheel. When you have all these things said, and then you're doing your primaries, and then there's also a sub-faction primaries, and then start blaming the ruling party. Because these are kind of the cracks that the ruling party will be looking into, say, how can we actually subvert these guys again? So why not now that, it's obvious that they don't really have that momentum to cause a problem because you have heavyweights now in the ADC. Why don't you just let them just go away? Why do you want them to go? Someone that knows nothing can actually go to court and get an injunction. And you have to deal with that because once a verdict is passed, it becomes a problem. Look at what happened with this issue. It's not related, okay? It's not related, but do you know this issue that Elon Musk had with respect to his shares where, they actually agreed on a pay package. And then a few years after, somebody went to sue. The guy that went to sue, actually, his shares in Tesla, okay, the motor vehicle company for Elon Musk, was only had less than 10 shares. And he went to sue, and the court had to actually suspend the whole thing. Although now I believe that they've actually, given it back to him. But during those period, it was suspended. So that's what I'm saying, that you don't just take things and say, anyway, I don't know.
Than the presidential ticket, not a vice presidential ticket.
Good. Look, when you're moving into election, when you're moving into primaries, people say a whole lot of things. At times they say it as bargaining chip to know whether you can concede to them. These things are normal. I mean, I even heard when they were saying they will never enter ADC. And thank God they are all in ADC now.
No, we're talking about his supporters.
That's what I'm saying.
Voted him.
That is what I'm saying.
They can't enter ADC.
Hold on, I voted him. 2023. I'm in ADC.
They're going to enter now.
I believe in democracy. And I believe that democracy is the government of the people.
So you think all those other supporters will eventually follow your
path?
Absolutely.
You know that there's a dynamic with Peter Obi where he has people that
follow the path of democracy. Because if you decree that this person must be this, no matter what happens, you're not a Democrat.
So that's the dynamic that people are aware of. The fact that Peter Obi is they are called obedience. They don't belong to a political party. Their political party is the man. So if you're banking on bringing them, they're not going to join the ADC. We saw that with the Labour Party. Many of them didn't join the Labour Party. They just voted the man himself. Is that a dynamic that the ADC is ready to handle?
Well, when I was in Labour Party, I said...
But I also think them not joining the ADC, I think the ADC would love that the obedience don't join. They would love that the obedience don't join so that they can actually do whatever it is that they want to do in their primaries and all that. So I don't see how this is even an advantage to Peter Obi for them not joining. I think at some point the obedience should have voting powers in those parties. I think the obedience, if you're really an obedient and you want to actually put your stake on it, I think it should be, once Atiku and Obi has agreed on some formation, 99.9% of the problem has been solved. Yeah, I agree with that. As long as two of them agree, I think things will sort itself out, no matter what other people are saying. But I'm also saying that there may actually be some third-party players that might want to come into the party and use the power of the court, which is now outside of Atiku and Obi. And you don't want those distractions. And that's why I'll go with your point of settlement.
Tactical mistake. Telling your followers they can join all political parties. And I'm very glad that my brother Peter Obi, has changed the tactic. If you listen to his interview on X Space, he said all the obedience should go and register as members of ADC. So if you are an obedient and you're not in ADC, sorry, you're not an obedient. You are a disobedient.
That's a very interesting way to put it. Okay, well, we wanted to see if that actually happens. Now, let's talk about this year. One of the questions people have about the ADC, yes, we recognize all of your faces. However, are there structures in the states that can give you the kind of victory that you say you're going to get? You don't have a single governor. You don't have, I think you have one member of in the National Assembly who is not even, who is also among people that are angry with the party as well. Yes, because the ADC, the lawmaker from Kogi.
No. That one has been expelled.
Oh, okay, he has been expelled.
Yes.
Well, he says that expulsion.
He said he's working for Tinubu.
Yes, he said he's
anti-party.
Yeah, that's anti-party also. They don't have a register. They don't have to register. The formation would remove APC. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But again, for you to remove APC, if you're really interested in removing APC, you don't just need that, because that formation in 2023 couldn't deliver. And when I say couldn't deliver, I'm not talking about the votes. We couldn't deliver, a good chain of command to be able to ensure that the votes were counted at the polling units. There's no way you could. So you have a political party, you have a movement. Political party is solely into the elections, having the polling members, having all this having all those, architecture to ensure that their votes count and all that. At some point, you also need these people to be responsive and also be a major party member. But we'll see what happens.
You need to, in a country that has shifted.
And again, just to put that out there, like if they don't register, then again, you're giving the ADC, the right to say, if Obi is still saying he wants to be the president, I don't know if that will work. So that may be back to your point of Atiku and Obi, having this formation. So possibly, maybe that's what would definitely happen. But that's not the signal I'm getting. The signal I'm getting is that Obi actually still wants to be the front runner for the party. And Atiku also, I believe, wants to still run. But again, I will see how it goes.
Doesn't even need to come and say he's ADC member.
So the point is,
we are not PDP,
they are looking at the fact that what structures
I've told you
placed
people,
at
we are not
levels.
Transgenderic in ADC. It's either you're ADC or you're not. You can't say you're PDP when you're APC.
But you don't have a lawmaker right now that is on your side.
I'm sorry, you're wrong. Senator Ireti Kingibe, Senator from
she defected.
FCT. You're not current, Kel. I'm sorry.
So she left the LP.
Well, this is not good. This is a national TV now. You should know all this. You should know that Ireti Kingibe already defected, even way before Obi. Way before Obi defected. You should know that. Then I think there's another one also. I think Abaribe also now defected to ADC. So it should be up to date. But again,
Southeast legislators, Abaribe, all of them are in ADC. You know what? As the days go by, ADC
will start to swell.
And APC will continue to go down. They'll be going weaker and weaker, and we're stronger and stronger.
Another criticism that
until we enter the Asobi.
Hi, Chris. Welcome to the show. The mistake Obi made in the last election was the separation from Tinubu. Yeah, I think we've, that's been litigated. And I think now that's why they've been able to prevail on him to say, guy, you have to just join this ticket. And we'll see what happens. Happy New Year, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Straight state
very solid
to help you win.
Yes.
You don't have a single governor.
Yes.
Where's the money going to come from to run elections at all those levels in all these states?
All right. First of all, let me dissuade your assertion that money is only what you need to win elections. In 2023, we won 12 states, including FCT. We didn't have a governor.
That's
Labour Party.
Yes, we didn't have money. We got members in all geopolitical zones, 6, including some states. And that is the technically glitched election, technically glitched results, which if it had not been technically glitched, we would have gotten more. No other party got more than 12 states. So coming now in 2027, where the whole coalition opposition leaders are coming into one, APC is gone. Tinubu is gone back to Bodilon. What happened in December 31st in Southeast
We'll see.
has just made Tinubu now.
I don't know if you can just, because again, a lot of things have happened from that 2023 up until date. Okay. And again, the ticket we're looking at is, I think it now gives them a real opportunity, for them to have a shot, But again, 2023 formation is different from what we have now. In 2023, you couldn't count the number of APC governors in the South. Now they have the 6 APC governors. They're all now, you have 6 governors in the South, and they're all in APC. The Southeast, you could not even say, what's happening. Now you have Habga saying they're going to align with Tinubu. Alex Oti is not even joining the ADC as of now, possibly maybe tomorrow. He might join the ADC. Again, you've had a lot of defection. You now have substantive states, now joining in. So again, I'm saying that this is the best we've got for now. It's a good development, in terms of, opposition. Atiku and Obi working together. I think it's good. But we'll see what happens. Tinubu actually won the last election. They went to the tribunal and all that. And again, Peter Obi was not able to put some case forward with respect to what I saw in the allegations and the prayers that he made at the time. But that's gone. Again, I'm talking about even now 2027. We'll see. Tinubu cannot win one state in the East. I don't expect him to win any state in the Southeast. But I wouldn't also expect him to have a 5% in the Southeast this time around. Can we agree on that one? I wouldn't expect Tinubu to win any state in the Southeast in 2027. But I wouldn't see him win just 5%. Because dynamics have changed. And it's just the way politics work. I think the South is now also trying to play this kind of center politics. And I think it's more like a diversification thing. A lot of people, I think, is going to win the Southeast easily. Easily, he's going to win the Southeast.
The flight has taken away from Abuja and is nearing Lagos.
Is it not going to be an error or an error of judgment?
Yes.
If you're planning how you want to win based on the outcome of the 2023 elections?
Yes. How can it be an error?
Because right now, dynamics have changed.
No, for the better for us. Atiku.
Uncle Ben, Tinubu will win with the Southeast, South, Southwest, South. We'll see. We'll see. I know he's not going to get the 5% that he got, in 2023, but I can't for sure tell you that he's going to win the Southeast. I don't know, because Southeast has been traditionally PDP, and they've always gone for Atiku. So it becomes very difficult to actually see. The East don't support Tinubu at all, especially with the Nnamdi Kanu issue. Yeah, that's a fair point. Again, but I know that he's going to get some numbers, but he's not going to win. He's not going to win. Let's forget about that one.
It will be in one party. Assuming you combine your votes in 2023, in 2027.
You're assuming that vote is still there. That voting block is still there.
It is only with your experience that you will add in your experiment and make your expectation come to pass.
Dude,
it is only the antecedent that you use to project. In America, when they're talking about presidential election, you will see them judge from the past election. So whatever you're going to judge in 2027, you must relate.
No, they don't judge from the past election in the United States alone. They use different metrics. Economics is there. Key issues like the last election, immigration was one of the things because they had left their borders open. That was one. Number two, economy was there. Inflation was there. Inflation was very tough in the United States at the time. And then we'll see what happens. But it's not just past off. If it was passed off, then, Trump would have won again in 2020, but Biden then won because people were just tired of Trump, and COVID was a major issue. So again, you don't just use past election just as a standalone basis, Again, Tinubu can get 25% in the South is if Kanu is released before the presidential election. I'm expecting them to reach a political decision with respect to Kanu. I don't even still understand why that guy is still being held in Sokoto. Is it not that same Sokoto that Trump went to bomb? What's happening? That's the same Sokoto, right? That they took in Nnamdi Kanu. I'm now even kind of, now that you even brought that up, they need to release that guy. Why is it in Sokoto? That's the same place where you have the caliphate. I'm just trying to link things up. I don't know if there's any correlation, but again, why would you put him in Sokoto? That's the same place where all these guys are. And you know that Nnamdi Kanu has been someone that has spoken vehemently against a lot of these, a lot of what's happening in the north.
To the past election, Tinubu got only about 36% of the votes, the minority. So if you combined P2B and Atiku's votes, that would have given them 13 million votes, as against 8 million doctored votes of Tinubu. Gotten.
What is it talking about? Any non-doctored votes? What is it talking about? With the burning of Igbo markets in Lagos, Tinubu cannot win any Igbo state, period. I mean, even with no burning, I don't see Tinubu winning any Igbo states. I might be wrong. I mean, that would be really surprising to me if he does win Igbo states. Yeah, it would be really, really surprising to me. And I don't see that happening.
From technical glitch.
That's amazing, because the same election sheet, the same election results that came from the same organizer, you said the person who was doctored, the other two were not doctored.
Yes.
So they deliberately doctored one and left the other two.
Okay, now, in Lagos, Tinubu's hometown, we won. In his DG's home state, Plateau, we won. In his national chairman's state, in Nasarawa, we won. In FCT, he couldn't get 25%. And jumped up to...
Okay, so if you won all that, then you're still saying... So that means if you're saying you won all that, that means the whole election itself was fraught with irregularities, right? Again, I love the way these people try to kind of claim that whatever it is that they won was free and fair, but every other thing was not. It doesn't work that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. I mean, if you actually rig that, you're telling me that I couldn't rig the 25% in Abuja. I mean, come on. If you actually rigged, you didn't rig a 25% in Abuja. That was actually key to some of the matters that was raised even at the tribunal. I think there were dynamics in that 2023 that made the election that way. The Muslim ticket, wherever it won, there was a high concentration of Christians. Okay, and it is what it is.
In the election. Yeah, well, in Lagos State, PDP spokesperson, not LP spokesperson, say we won by almost 1 million votes.
I hate hearing that side. PDP spokesperson always saying that they won by 1 million, but there was nothing. At least PDP could not even release their own talent stuff. Well, what is that? And they keep repeating these things such that if they repeat it, it's just it. But again, we'll see what happens. I just joined this chat and I told you were one of those that believe it was rigged. I see you analyzing intelligence, not emotion. Again, it is what it is. It's not. There's no election in Nigeria that will be perfect 100%. Okay, let's just get that straight. But again, when you're talking about rigging, let's look at the numbers. Let's look at everything. Okay, look at what happened in the Southeast. 95% for Peter Obi alone in the Southeast. I mean, I believe that the whole structure in the Southeast was collapsed to support Peter Obi. I rightly believe that. But if you're talking about it being rigged, I mean, let's be sincere with ourselves. But again, it is what it is. Thanks for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Kolade. The Southern wants him there. It's all show of Islamic conquest. Otherwise, Kanu has no business there. Yeah, I was really baffled that they moved him to Sokoto. And again, that's the kind of impunity that I don't like. Apparently, we've seen the judgment that was given to various, the Ansaru terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists, and all those other guys. They were getting 20 years, 15 years. When it got to Nnamdi's case, they gave him life, And then to make the matter worse, they then moved him to Sokoto. Like, what is that? Okay.
Of course, we didn't have
I had BB's charts too.
That was our bad. That was our mistake. And that is why the coalition, working together, is going to sort out all those things. And all those logistical problems will not be there. and Nigerians will celebrate polling unit independence. If you are a, let me state it clearly.
Yeah, I did say now that they didn't have agents, so that was their error, which is, I think it's frank for him to have even actually acknowledged that, because that was one of the major problems that they had at the tribunal, and that they expected INEC to help them with that. I'm like, INEC won't help you with that. BB joined the yeah, I'm just also a little bit skeptical with BB joining. Again, it's a sensitive issue. I hope that we can resolve this issue, but again, I do agree. When you win, it's okay. When you lose, it's a technical glitch. Stay focused. You're dealing with a man who deeply understands this political psyche of Nigerians. Yeah, I hope they get it right this time. Difference is Nnamdi was not interested in showing remorse and did not defend himself. What did you expect the court to do, in all honesty? Again, I'm saying that, yeah, and I kind of get that argument, but at the same time, I'm looking at people that have been sentenced. These were people that actually did bomb and kill people as Boko Haram members, okay? And I've seen them also issue death sentence to a guy that defended himself against a Fulani Ether. So I'm like, this thing is not, you can't actually add that together. Yeah, with respect to Nnamdi Kanu, I think now, I don't even know, I think his appeal was, I don't know the state of the appeal as we speak right now. But again, I think it should just, I think at the end of the day, it's a political solution. That would be the end. A political solution will be what will resolve this. And if they release him before the election, possibly we'll see more peace in the southeast. And again, possibly Tinubu use that also to his advantage. And I think maybe that would happen. I hope it happens. I don't know.
Don't go near INEC to seek job there. If you go to a polling unit and not declare the result and transmit it electronically according to the law.
Okay.
If you do it, that is civilian coup against the will of people.
What if there's a glitch?
That is felony.
But there can be a glitch.
No, you would have declared it. If there is a glitch, you have just glitched your life there.
No. I don't agree with this. Now, you've got to have your polling agents. The polling agents will be reporting to an higher authority within the party. So all this talk about the election result was not his and that. If you had done your work very well, you know your numbers even before it's been declared. If it's being changed at the point of the polling unit, to when it gets to the coalition center, you already know. It's not rocket science. These are just numbers. Okay. The problem is when you don't have someone in the polling unit, or you have someone in the polling unit that is compromised, that should be working for your party, is not working for another party. That's where you have a big problem. Okay, and again, in 2023, LP, I kind of understand it was a new party. They were just getting their foot, on the ground. And again, there was really a lot of things that happened then. So again, I would just give it to them that they really tried. Even that 6 million that they got, it was an Obasanjo's kind of politics, or Obasanjo's kind of election. I'm telling you, Peter Obi won't have that 6 million. If it was Obasanjo's kind of, the Morisi kind of election, Peter Obi won't have that. But again, yeah, I don't know.
Don't glitch anything.
But we're all in the same country where sometimes we see glitch
No.
by itself.
Glitch cannot happen that you have 3 elections at the same time, using one machine at the same time, beavers. And glitch will not glitch senatorial election. It will not glitch House of Rep election. And it will go and glitch presidential election.
The main test of the
you have just glitched your life.
The elections in February, the FCT AMAC election. So with Kingibe, a member of the ADC now, we'll be seeing how the ADC will show.
Test yourself.
In that election here in Abuja.
Not really making excuses for ADC. We are going to participate. But let me state it clearly. All the candidates there, we are not put there by the David Mack-led ADC. The candidates had already been there before we even came in.
For the FCT elections?
For the FCT election.
Okay.
Meaning? So that's separate. Meaning that we are going to campaign. But meaning that...
You will lose.
No, I'm not saying that. But meaning that if we had come in, it is possible some of the candidates wouldn't have been our choice. And I want to be very open about it.
Again, it's a going concern. You inherit it, you work with it, and that's it. Just give them all the support you can. Again, when Peter Obi was in that space, he was saying that, well, this candidate that did run in Anambra was not even his candidate. that he couldn't. Again, it's all excuses, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think going forward, whichever election they're going to participate in, post this coalition, they need to put everything they can, because it's a signal. Even though maybe Atiku won't be on the ballot, Obi won't be on the ballot, it's a signal to what is being expected.
So do not judge us by what is going to happen in February. And I'm talking about the David-led ADC. But that does not mean we are not going to do our best to campaign.
So your best might not be good enough?
No. The best of the candidates already there.
It's not about the candidates or about the party.
No.
Those who are supporting.
Tinubu will release Kanu because he's freaking out about the outcome of the election now. Tell me where Tinubu will win, if not only Southwest. Okay, North is mad now. East is gone. Middle belt is not protected. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. With Atiku and Peter will be joining together. It's going to be a tough one. But again, I'm saying even with that, there's still a structure. You will just be surprised. I mean, look at this. Even in South, right? But again, we'll see. You're right. Tinubu will strategically assess the advantage of freeing Kanu closer to the election. If it helps his vote tally, Kanu will be released ahead of the votes. He's going to do everything he can. I know. And it's going to be tough. But again, even with all these guys, you're talking about even the North and all that, don't forget that you still have these governors that still wants to protect their own votes, right? They want to protect their own base. They also want to see Tinubu do his 4 years and go, so that it actually releases, gives them the advantage of taking over. So they also would not sleep. Okay? Yeah, but I do agree with you with respect to Middle Belt not protected. East is not even going to, even if he releases him, right? I don't see the East voting for Tinubu. I mean, it's a normal, that's a mutual assured consideration. Yeah. North, I think it's still going to kind of get some stuff in the North, and again, we'll see what happens.
Supporting the party.
No.
The Democrats, like you say, the party. Pull your weight and let's see what you can do.
These two things go hand in hand. I can guarantee you that in 2023, it was not a vote for party in Labour Party. Mm-hmm. It was a vote for candidate. That I can guarantee you.
True.
So it might be the same template.
No, I said generally, candidates matter. Generally, parties matter.
Okay.
So, but when the two of them are sophisticated, working together, you produce the best result. So I cannot guarantee you that, I will guarantee you that ADC will do its best and may win some of the councils, may on the line.
But they may not perform as you may expect.
May on the line.
Okay, we'll see.
May.
People will say
we'll see what happens. The governor factor is a key to winning elections. Yeah, because it's grassroots and they're closer to the people. We'll see what happens. East will vote for Tinubu. East normally reward performance. If Tinubu releases Kanu, many people will see reasons to vote for. Oh, okay. Well, that would be interesting to see, because that would be the first thing that would have ever happened. But the East voting for someone outside of either the PDP or their person, right? The reason they voted for Obi was that he was basically from the East, and they saw him as that, person to be able to clutch that power. And they've always been default PDP. But it will be interesting to see that they will vote for him if they release Nnamdi Kanu. Who knows? Maybe Nnamdi Kanu will never even canvass for Tinubu. I don't think it will. But again, they might see reasons, and maybe he's going to get something good, but I don't still see him winning. I might be wrong, though. The governor is a factor. The governor factor is a key, to winning, especially if you also are kind of a politician. If you're really a politician, then possibly that would be a big key to you winning. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then again, 2026 is there. Let's see what happens with respect to some other metrics in terms of economy, in terms of maybe salary being improved and all that. Tinubu, he always have those things in his quiver. Don't underestimate him. People have done that in the past, and I just wish ADC can go all in, settle all those internal fractures, and then see what happens.
Throwing the towel.
I love competition.
It's not possible. Let me tell you, We are going to do our best. I am somebody that will tell you the way it is. I'm sorry, but that's my nature.
Okay.
All right. We'll see how that one plays out, and then the build-up to the big one, because this year, I mean, whether we admit it or not, there will be the build-up for 2027 will be this year.
That is the election that you would judge us with.
Okay.
Any election that is coming after the David Mark-led ADC has come in, you have the right to judge us on that.
So, all right. We'll see how all of that plays out. So, thank you for coming on, Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo.
Okay, yeah, that was a good one. I just know that he's a Nollywood actor, right, and a lawyer. So, I mean, I just like watching his interview, even though at times he just speaks based on, I don't know how he speaks, but then that's good. Yeah. So again, thanks for joining, guys. Still a lot to talk about, but I think I have to continue that later in the day. Of course, the driver that drove Anthony Joshua, I think the Atlanta is going to be arrested. I don't know if he's arrested already. And it's going to be charged to court. That's that about that. In other news, I know there's also this banter between Harrison and VDM. We're not able to watch that. This is the guy. What's his name again? Let me just show you that. This guy, the House of Rep member that has been expelled by ADC. So we'll also look and talk about that. Well, yeah, I think that's where things stand as of today. Thanks a lot for joining. I really appreciate, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Many people just final comment here. Many people won't care about OB, especially if it's just the VPDs who don't care about OP. Igbo knows that if Kanobu is out, Biafra issue will get more life. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's a very interesting dynamics that I would really want to watch. I can't tell you what would be the final, verdict if they release him, if that would help push. But again, I think you know better when it comes to that than me. But we'll see what happens. Peter will be through a Labour Party. I'm going to watch a lot of these things possibly later today. But thanks a lot for joining. I really appreciate. Please, if you've not subscribed, please do subscribe. Thanks for the chat. Do like and also do share as we try to grow this. And we know the election is coming. We just want to build this community as we go on. Thanks a lot. I really